They say, every city has its ghosts, but New Orleans. It feeds them. Some walk Bourbon Street long after their bones are dust. Some hum tunes no one remembers composing. But the one name that's always whispered, never spoken loud, is Louis Fontaine. He was a jazz man, a genius, then a missing person, then a myth. And yet last year in a box of tapes left to me by my uncle, his old sound engineer, I heard Louis Fontaine's voice again. The first time I saw his name was on a faded reel labeled Fontaine, Midnight Session, Do Not Play. I'd inherited dozens of reels after Uncle Rudy passed. Most blank, some unfinished demos. But this one was different. The tape was warm to the touch, like it had been used recently. Curiosity got the better of me. I threaded it into my restored reel-to-reel and hit play. It started like any session, a slow, low jazz run on upright bass. Then came the piano. Then something else. A voice, not singing. Pleading. I ain't done nothing wrong, man, the voice crackled. I did what he asked. Played the notes. Spoke the words. Why won't he let me go? The hairs on my arms stood up. The voice was raw, choked, like it had been screaming for days. Then silence. Then the tape played the exact same thing again. Identical. Every breath, every fret squeak. Lupa. But there was no splice on the reel. No break. No indicator it was repeating. I fast-forwarded. It just kept looping, over and over, like the man was trapped in the tape itself. I unplugged the machine and locked the reel in my safe. I started researching Louis Fontaine. What I found didn't feel like biography. Mastered trumpet by 12, discovered at 18, vanished in 1982, mid-tour, with no trace. Around the 29-minute mark, he stops playing. You can hear him say, clear as day, I ain't leaving till I get what I'm owed. Then the crowd laughs. A moment later screams. No explanation. The track cuts off. It's never been re-released. According to City Records, Fontaine's death was never confirmed. No body. It's no funeral. His apartment was sealed by police. But one bootleg collector claimed he saw him. In 2001, the collector, a man named Desmond, ran a tiny shop in the quarter. I visited in person, played coy, then asked about Fontaine. Desmond went pale. Said he had a photo. Showed me an old Polaroid. Date stamped 2001. A man stood outside a closed bar on Royal Street, staring directly into the camera. Thin, hollow-eyed, same face, same hat, I swear to God, Desmond whispered. He was humming that same damn melody, like a broken record. Then he leaned close. You know he made a deal, right? It's back in '78. One of those real deals? Blood and breath type? I pressed him for details. He hesitated, then handed me a worn notebook. Local urban legends. One story stood out. The musician wanted to be remembered forever. So he played a song no one was meant to hear, a summoning tune. At the stroke of midnight, under a crossroads cross, offered his soul, but asked for more, to never be forgotten. To live in memory, song, and echo? The entity agreed, but cursed him with permanence. Not life, not death, just permanence. He wouldn't rot, he wouldn't fade, would just linger. It sounded ridiculous. Until I remembered what my uncle said when I was young. Some voices you record, and some voices record you back. I returned home and played the Fontaine tape again. This time, I slowed it down, just enough to catch the texture. Under the bass line, whispers, faint layered, as if multiple versions of him were talking over each other. Yet one begged, one prayed, one laughed, and one whispered a name. Mine. That night my cat wouldn't enter my studio. The lights flickered twice, and at 3:11 a.m. I woke to music. The tape was playing. Unplugged. I recorded it this time, digitally, and ran it through an isolation filter. One voice cut through. He won't let me die, not till someone takes the deal, not till it passes. I paused the file, and I heard the same phrase from the tape recorder itself, spoken aloud in the exact same voice. From a machine with no speaker, I was done, or at least, I tried to be. I sealed the reel in a lead-lined ammo box, buried it behind my uncle's workshop, poured salt over the soil, and said every protection prayer I knew. The next morning, It was sitting on my desk. Dry, clean, rewound. There was only one explanation. It hadn't moved physically. I had been brought back to it. That's when I checked my voicemail. A new message. Timestamped 3:11 a.m. Static. Then music. Then a voice. Midnight's coming, boy. Attune your soul. I took a road trip back to where Fontaine grew up, New Orleans. Found the house his godmother lived in, now abandoned. Cracked windows. Floor half rotted. In the back room, I found a candle-burned circle on the floor and claw marks on the walls. Oh, no electricity yet. I swear I heard humming from the corner. Same tune as the reel. I took a photo. There was nothing in the frame. But when I reviewed the file later, shadows stood behind me. Tall, hat, grinning. I brought the photo to a friend who restores film. She brightened the image, increased clarity. Then she called me crying. I don't know what you got involved with, she said, but that shadow has your face. That's when it clicked. The message, the repetition, the whispers. Fontaine's curse didn't end when he vanished. It evolved. It waits for a listener, successor. And the only way to sever it is to pass it on. It's through the music, through a story, through sound. After that night, I stopped sleeping. I left New Orleans entirely. Drove out to a roadside motel in Arkansas and smashed every device that could play sound. No laptop, no phone, no speakers. But even there, even in silence, I'd wake to the same thing. Music bleeding through the air vents, a low trumpet melody, dragging like it was underwater. 3:11 a.m., every night it came. Always the same. And then the whisper, sometimes behind the wall, sometimes just over my shoulder. Your soul's already listening. Might as well answer the tune. I reached out to an old priest who'd once helped with demonic obsession cases, Father Marin. He agreed to meet me in a public park. When I played him the audio from the Fontaine reel, he paled, said it was like nothing he'd ever heard. A voice without time signature. Notes out of harmonic reality. He tried blessing the reel. It heated up in his hand. Whatever this is, he said, it's not demonic in the way we understand. This is a deal that doesn't end in hell. It is hell. Eternal repetition. Trapped in sound. I asked him if it could be broken. He said maybe, but only if the deal was finished, completed, fulfilled. Someone has to play the last note, he whispered. That's why he's stuck. Was never allowed to finish. So I did something stupid. I rebuilt my studio, sealed it with salt, crucifixes, and mirrors. Lit 7 candles, unlocked the reel. I pressed play. One final time, with a keyboard in front of me, the music began. This time, I joined in. Not recording it, answering it, completing his melody. As soon as I did, the room changed. The air got heavy, my breath fogged. One of the candles snuffed out on its own. I kept playing, and then I heard his voice. That's it, boy. You hear me now? You hear me clear. Louis Fontaine appeared in the reflection of my studio glass. Older, eyes black, lips cracked open in a wide grin. But he wasn't playing his trumpet. He was watching me, nodding. He didn't want to finish the song. He wanted me to. He needed a vessel. Someone real, someone present. I couldn't stop. My hands kept moving, even as the air froze around me. The song kept unfolding, improvising itself into darker chords. At one point, I played a sequence I didn't know. Fontaine smiled wider. Good, he rasped. That's your soul line now. I screamed and backed away, but the keys kept playing themselves. Notes burning with light, shadow, and something deeper. The final note built up, ringing like a bell made of bones. And when it struck, all the mirrors shattered. The reel melted, and Fontaine vanished. For a moment, I thought it was over. I was wrong. The next morning, I woke to find my own voice playing back from the studio speakers. A perfect loop. Me begging, please? I did what you asked. Why won't you let me go? I tried deleting the audio. It wouldn't erase. Tried smashing the system. The file reappeared on my laptop. I'd taken the final note. I'd finished the song, but now it lived in me. I began humming it in my sleep. I'd find scrawled notes on napkins, walls, even my arms, as if I were writing music unconsciously. I returned to Desmond's shop, desperate for help, told him everything. He didn't laugh. He only nodded and showed me the final page in that urban legend journal. One line. To be heard is to be known is to be remembered, and to be remembered is to be owned. Desmond said he'd heard that song too. In dreams, in silent rooms, but never finished it. You're the finisher now, he said. The sound's inside you. I ran out, but not before hearing him whisper, "Thank you." That's when I knew I'd passed it on. The curse doesn't kill you. It replaces you. You keep walking, eating, talking. But slowly you're overwritten by the melody. It's by the man who wouldn't die. Tried everything. Isolation, exorcism, psychiatric evaluation. Nothing helped. The doctors say I'm deteriorating. But what they don't understand is it's not me they're treating. It's the echo of someone else, trying to live again through flesh and tone. I'm writing this from a soundproof basement, walls lined with dead foam. And yet, I still hear it. It's the same 3 bars. Every damn night. I've stopped fighting it. This is the only thing that helps. Warning others. I left the reel on a bench outside a gas station 2 states over. Someone's probably picked it up by now. And if you're hearing this story, that someone might be you, because the deal wasn't just for immortality, it was for attention. Every time someone hears the song, or hears about it, the soul of Fontaine grows stronger. The melody survives, and eventually starts playing in their dreams, then in their thoughts, then in their own voice. If you've listened this far, there's something you need to do. Tonight, when the house is quiet, if you hear music that doesn't belong, don't follow it. If your fingers start tapping a rhythm you don't recognize, don't finish it. And whatever you do, never hum this story out loud, because once you carry the tune, you become the instrument. This isn't just a story, it's a sound that feeds. And Louis Fontaine. We're still looking for the perfect player. This is the Unholy Ones. Until next time, don't let the music in.